Hi, my name is Cheryl Adamchik. I am a special ed English teacher at Oxon Hill High School. We are lucky enough to be a one-to-one school where all, or at least most of the students have a Chromebook or a ThinkPad. And my number one tech tool is Google Classroom. I had never really used it before this year, and it's just great. It's kind of a one-stop shop for keeping all the coursework materials, the syllabus, different assignments, makeup assignments together. It's a way that parents can opt in to view summaries each week of what's going on in the class, and I can communicate back and forth with students and or parents individually or as groups. So to begin, first of all, to create a class, there is this little plus sign up here that you click and click Create Class. All right, now I'm not going to do this now because I actually created a test class over here. So I'm going to open that one up. Okay. And usually we just put the course name, maybe the period or room number up here. Um, but I'll get more into that in a second. So you can create a theme or select a theme, upload a photo for the background up here, which I didn't do yet. So let's see. You can click on that, and there's a gallery of different photos, different patterns you can select. Usually I try to choose something that kind of goes along with what I'm teaching. So in other words, English teacher, I'm going to choose a book, um, select class theme, and voila. Um, all right, so there are three tabs, if you will, across the top. The stream, which is going to show, it's kind of the meat of the class. Student tab, okay, and the About tab. Typically, when you're creating a class, you go into the About tab first. It's a place where you can include a short little description of the class, like we'll say, Readish, RELA for grade 10. Room number, I'll say G54. These are just fake places. um, and then save. Okay. Uh, Also in here, this is a good place to put everything that people may need to access regularly. Um, for example, the syllabus. Uh, this is where you invite other teachers if you're co-teaching or you just have other teachers that would like to see what's going on in your class. It's also a good place to upload or link to different class materials the students will use often, like online textbooks, ebooks. That's what we get a lot of course, in English classes. Maybe scoring rubrics, like the Park scoring rubric, for example, for writing, that's used regularly. Office hours for you. Um, there's all kinds of things that you can include in here. So when you want to do that, what you do is click on Add Class Materials, and we'll put a title here, Syllabus, and it shows you how you can either attach or link to um, different documents. So I created something in Google Docs. So I'm going to, oops, not what I wanted to do. All right, under my drive, I'll click Recent, and Syllabus for Test Class. Okay, just double click on it, and there it is. All right, and then you have to make sure though that you click Post. Okay, and there it is for your students once you add them into the classroom to access whenever they want or need to. Let's see. Okay. So under the, well, next I personally would go to the Students tab. Okay, and this is where primarily you're going to invite students, also invite or email parents, and so let me show you here. So you would click on invite students and type their email address or name, and I'm going to click one, and I didn't warn her, so we'll hopefully she doesn't think this is a crazy new class she's part of. Okay, I'm going to click invite. Okay, and she'll show up here. She'll get a notification that this class is, that she's invited to participate in this class, and she'll click on a link and show up in this class. Once she does that, well, even now I can email her if I choose to, just clicking on those three dots at the right, which I won't, which actually I will do. So I can tell her to ignore the test class email so that she doesn't think one of her teachers is crazy. Okay, there's also a class code over here on the left-hand side, so students can join in that way as well. Okay. All right, the stream. Like I said, this is kind of where the meat and potatoes is of your classroom. There's all sorts of stuff you can do here. Certainly the main thing that happens here is posting info for students, like announcements, assignments, and one of my personal favorites, love, 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 love it, is the ability to reuse a post, whether it's in this class or a different class. So let me show you here. So first I'll create an announcement. So we'll say, good morning, I'm your new teacher, blah, blah, blah. And you can put a topic here. I'll say intro. Obviously, I would put something a little bit more different here, okay, and I would post it, okay. Class comments, just like I can see, add a class comment, and I can add, I'll say oops, and post it. Students who are involved in the class can also add class comments. It is something that whatever's posted here by whoever, it will be seen by the rest of the class. Okay. Creating assignment. Okay, so this is great because something new they just added is really helpful, especially as a special ed teacher and as a teacher who has students who often need to make up work after the fact, and sometimes it gets a little confusing for them if you have a long stream of assignments. So we'll say this assignment is, and I usually try to keep a standard in how I'm labeling my assignments. So for example, some people use a number such as number 100, say that's the first assignment, or 101, first assignment for the first grading quarter. I like to use dates, personal preference, so I'll use 5/5/17, and we'll call this a warm-up. Okay, and let's see. Usually for warm-ups, I use a Google Doc or a Google form rather. So I'll say respond to the question. Oops, don't really want to shout at them. Respond to the question on the linked to Google form. Okay, use complete sentences. Their favorite thing to do. Instructions, it's optional. I don't, depending on what the assignment is, I may or may not include instructions. Due date. We'll say this is due today, and warm-ups, we usually give them 5 to 10 minutes depending on what we're asking them to do. So we'll say this is due at 1:15 p.m. today. Okay, topic. I'll create a topic, say this is, now the warm-up I'm going to post here is from Lord of the Flies, when we were reading that, so I'll say Lord of the Flies, and leave it at that. Okay, so like I said, my warm-ups, I usually use a Google form. Let's see here. And I want to add here we go. All right, warm up. Okay, here's one. Okay, so here's a warm up that I actually used in the past. It's already linked to. All the students need to do is click here, and it links them right to their warm up question. Close that. Okay. If you want to attach more than one thing or provide different links, maybe a YouTube video that's related to that part of the novel perhaps, or a Word document. You know, there are various things. I've used Padlet, and usually there's a link that we use this link button right there. Okay, and then you either assign, or this is another nice thing that I like, is you can assign right away, which is, you know, fine to do, or you can schedule this, and this is what I generally like to do when I'm working ahead of time. So I'm going to schedule this assignment, and I know it doesn't make sense with the times I have here, so I'm going to schedule it for May 8th at 8 a.m. And these you just change if you want to. Must be scheduled before due. Oh, okay, can't do that. All right, and I have to change it. Scheduled for 1 p.m. today. Okay, and it's scheduling. Where to go? Okay, so under here, save posts. This will have anything that you still have in draft form, anything you have scheduled. This is something, like I said, I just created this assignment. It's scheduled for the time I have. Let's X out of that. Okay. And the other option was to just save it as a draft, and then I could push it out. I could click assign when I'm ready to assign it during the class period. All right. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Let me click another, we'll make another assignment here. I'll say, let's see. Okay, so here was some makeup work I had assigned to someone, to a few students actually. It was different from what I had assigned the other students in the classroom. So I only want it to be sent out to Anthony in Google. He'll see it still in Google Classroom. So what I'll do here is, instead of sending it to all students, I'll click this drop-down menu, and okay, I can't show you here. I will show you, let me show you how I did that, because there are no actual students in this class. Okay, so let me go in to this class. Okay, so here is an assignment where, makeup assignment that I assigned to 2 students. If I go in here to edit, okay, so it shows the number of students, but if you click on the drop down, it lists all the students. You have different options. You can click on all students, of course, and then it'll get sent out to all students, or you can click on individual student names and it'll just go get sent out to them. Same thing in terms of what the instructions are, the title, any links that they might need, and then just save. Okay, so let's go back to the test classroom. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Okay. So let's create, or I want to use, reuse a post. And again, this is something I love to use because some of my classes, there are always some classes that are doing the same things or doing the same things around the same time. So I'm going to click on reuse a post. Okay, and up here where it says select class, you'll see the list of all the classes that I have. And so say I want to reuse an assignment post from this period, okay? And I'll say, okay, so here's a warm-up. Okay, so I just click on it and it highlights it a little bit, click reuse, okay, and it creates it for you. Now, you will still need to, of course, if you wanted to go out to all students or just individual ones. Okay, due date, we'll say Monday at 10 a.m. Okay, and this topic is, I'll have to create a topic because I don't have one for this. So click create topic and type in whatever you want. I'll say self-reflection. Okay, and I can assign it. Okay, or of course schedule it or save it for later. Okay, so that's reusing a post, and again, that is such a help. All right. Okay, what else? Anything else here? Oh, inviting teachers or co-teachers. Didn't really go over that. Okay, back to the About tab. All right, so this is a place where I can invite teachers if I'm going to be co-teaching this class, say. Okay, and okay, so this is a teacher that I currently teach with, co-teach with, and then I would just click invite. I won't do that now simply because then I'll have a teacher and a student thinking I'm nuts. And let's see. I think that is pretty much it for this. One last thing, I suppose, it's not a feature that I use personally, but if we go into the work, you'll see that once students have joined, here, let me go into one of my current classrooms so you can actually see it a little better. All right, so we'll go into an actual assignment. Let's do this one. Okay. So you'll see it'll list students that have completed the work, students that have not completed the work. And this might look a little misleading, probably a bad class to show you guys, but occasionally you'll have a student that needs to do it on paper, or so sometimes that's the issue here. But it shows you the student work. You can click on, unless you're using a Google form, you would be able to click on the student's name and see their work. Um, okay. Um, all right, so that is my go-to tech tool right now. Um, I'm always acquiring new ones, and certainly the students like different things as well. So I thank you for your time, and goodbye.